Are you confused and overwhelmed by all the tools you could use for your content creation? There are so many to choose from that it is really difficult to know exactly which ones to use. Well, today I'm giving you the lowdown on the tools that I use in my own business and why I love them. And whilst I don't advocate for using a tool just because someone else is, I know that I've definitely benefited from avoiding decision drama by using recommendations from people that I respect. So hopefully this will be helpful for you. I'll explore why it's important to use tools to simplify your workflow, foster creativity, and support collaboration as your business grows. Continue listening to this episode to discover how my favorite tools can transform your business processes, make content creation enjoyable and rewarding rather than a chore. Welcome to the Powerful Content Podcast, your go-to source for content creation, strategy, and business inspiration. I'm your host, Mel Daniels, content strategist, coach, and speaker, empowering women across the globe to grow their business with powerful content that connects, nurtures, and converts. So, if you're ready to create standout content that gets you noticed and remembered, or build an aligned audience who love you and are ready to buy from you, you're in the right place. I believe that content has the power to connect us all. It's up to you how you use it. Listen in for genuine and insightful chats with guests, as well as practical tools and strategies from me. It's so lovely to have you here. Let's dive into the show. I acknowledge the Wongal people of the Eora Nation as the traditional custodians of the country that I am recording from today. I recognise their continuing connection to the land and waters. I pay my respects to elders past and present and extend that respect to all First Nation people listening today. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to episode 136 of the Powerful Content Podcast. I hope you're well. It's actually so nice for me to stop and take a breather at the moment from business life to really connect with you and bring you this episode. I feel like it's going to give me a chance to reset and realign with what I do and why I do it. I just feel like there's so much going on in my business at the moment that really relates to audience and brand awareness growth. So if you're new to my world, hello, lovely to have you here. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how these translates to new clients and members over the coming months. So I've just participated in the Rule Breaking Summit, which you can still go and check out, as part 2 will be coming up at the end of this month. I'm also currently a contributor for the Business Planning Prep Kit Bundle, and let me just say that this is absolutely full to the brim of great resources to get you prepped for 2025. So if after this episode you get a little bit inspired, then I would definitely go and check out that bundle. There are so many tools that you can go and try out, so many different new ways of planning content as well as planning for your business as well. So even if you don't like planning, it's such a great and free way, I think, to go and try out those different resources. At the end of this month, I'm also a sponsor for Angela Henderson's Women in Business Conference being held in the Gold Coast. Give me a shout out if you're going. I'm really excited about this and I really wish I could go, but it's right at the pointy end of my son's final exams here. So I've decided to stay home and support him. But if you go, there will be a super special gift from me. Around the same time at the end of this month is my second bundle for the quarter, which is Halloween themed. Quite strangely, I'm not really into Halloween, but I thought I'd give this a go. It's the All Treats, No Tricks hosted by Kate Doster. And then lastly, this month is also Small Business Month here in New South Wales, the state of Australia in which I live. So I'm hosting a free masterclass on content that converts. You are more than welcome to come and join me. So check out the show note for the link to this, as well as all of the things that I'm participating in at the moment. So as you can see, this month is super jam-packed. And it's a really good reason for me to step out of all of that busyness and really concentrate on you, my beautiful listener, for the next 15 minutes. So as you've just heard, there's quite a deal of moving parts happening at the moment in my business, and keeping on top of it all and making sure that I deliver a high quality experience for my clients as well as my new subscribers and listeners as well is super important to me. So I thought that I'd share with you some of the tools that I use in my business and specifically around content that really help keep me organized, keep me efficient, and most importantly,
give me the space to be more creative. You can go back to episode 130 for a step-by-step guide on how I create content for my business. So that's if you're keen to know the processes that go on behind the scenes. But this episode, I'll focus on some of the tools that I use in that process. So why do we even need tools in our business? Now, I understand that not everyone has the ability or desire, really, to be more organized and efficient. I really do. That's why I created my content creator archetype quiz so that you can become more aware of your strengths and use them to the best of your ability when it comes to content creation. And if you don't know what your archetype is, head on down to the show notes. I'll make sure that I pop the link to the quiz there so that you can find out what yours is. But at the same time, if you're super serious about your business and want to grow it, at some point you will need to invest time and possibly money into systems or people to help you become more efficient and focused, at least with the content creation side of things. I know that you'd much rather be spending time on converting and serving clients than creating content. So the more simple and easy that you make it, the better. So whether you're creating social media posts, emails, blogs, videos, podcasts, there's a tool out there that will suit you, your brain, the way you like to work, that will help you simplify what you're doing and decrease the amount of time you spend on it. So when you're choosing a tool for your business, there's a few things that I think that you need to consider. The first is whether it boosts your productivity and efficiency. Or are you just using the tool because someone said it worked for them? When a tool fits seamlessly into your workflow and they work with each other rather than against each other, it's like this beautifully harmonized song. So my tip here is don't purchase something just because someone else uses it. Look at the features and your budget and see how it fits in holistically with your business before you jump in. Now, the second thing that your tool needs to do for your business before you jump in and start using it is, does it reduce the overwhelm? Do you really need this tool? There are so many different types of tools, so choose the one that's easy for your brain to understand. Now, I'm actually currently looking at moving away from Asana and spreadsheets so that I can have just one tool for project management and content management. But I'm really struggling to find the one that I easily get. Adding to your overwhelm is just going to decrease your desire to create content. And I don't want that for you. I don't want it at all. So you really want to make content creation easy and friction free. So adding to your overwhelm is not going to do that. I would much rather you didn't use a tool than to use a tool and for it to create overwhelm and therefore you don't want to create content. Now, the next thing that I think that a tool needs to do is it needs to support the objectives that you're trying to achieve with your content. So is this particular tool helping you to achieve your content and your business goals? Does it make it easier for you to execute your strategy? For example, if one of your content objectives is to publish more content to create brand awareness, using a tool like Descript will make it really easy to repurpose any videos or audio that you create. It would really make sense to invest in this tool to unlock the additional features that really make your content creation easier and meet this objective. So it's really important that your tool actually supports your content objectives and isn't just creating more work for the sake of being busy. The next thing that I think that you need to think about before you jump into using a tool is that, does it save time on repetitive tasks? And does this then lead to great consistency and creativity? So tools that align with your workflow will also enhance your creativity. When you're not constantly switching between platforms or dealing with complicated setups, you're actually free to focus on your content and the creative process of that as well. In addition to this, the right tools really support your consistency, which is, as we all know, key to building a strong brand presence. So whether it's a social media scheduler or a content calendar tool, when everything is organized and running smoothly, you're going to be able to consistently publish your content, which is essential for building that trust and authority with your audience. Now, automation tools like email marketing platforms or social media schedulers save time on repetitive tasks. And this really then allows you to focus on that higher level strategic thinking and become that creative leader that your audience needs you to be. So when you automate tasks like email campaigns or content scheduling, you're really freeing up that mental space. You're freeing up time for more creative work such as brainstorming, coming up with new content ideas, or engaging, being social with your audience, which is often far more fun and rewarding, I think, anyway. Now, the last thing that I think your tool needs to do is potentially grow with you, but more importantly, encourage collaboration. So, what I mean by this is if you work with a team or you are thinking of bringing on people to help you with various aspects of your business, whether it's content related or not, then using tools that everyone can access really facilitates a more streamlined workflow and leads to things like, fewer errors and faster turnaround, as well as ensuring that everyone involved in the content creation or whatever task that you're focusing on is on the same page and working towards the same objective. So I really think that it's important if you're about to embark on adding new people into your team or outsourcing parts of your business, then the tool that you choose should be easily accessed by everyone. Right. So I've given you a few ideas there on what I think that you need to think about before you invest any time, energy, or resources into a particular tool. But this is how I choose mine. When I'm looking for a new content related tool, I think about all these things that I've just mentioned together with my budget. And this isn't just if I can afford this now, but will it actually allow me to bring in extra revenue as a result of increased efficiency or creativity? Plus, whether the tool will actually reduce my overwhelm or simply add to it, and whether it will align with my business goals and values. But at the end of the day, I think that the key to selecting the right tool for your business and the right tool for you is to look at whether it simplifies your life rather than complicates it. So now you know why it's important to have tools for your business and content creation and what to look for. I'm going to share some of my favorites that I use in my business. Now, the first one is quite simply spreadsheets. Yep, it's that simple. So I use this for my content calendar. I use these for my reimagination process, my podcast planning, and tracking and analysis as well. Like I said earlier, I'm looking to move away from this and really amalgamate it with a project management tool. But right now, I just can't find the best solution for my brain. I've been using these spreadsheets for absolutely ever, and it's really become second nature to me. So that anything I use to replace it will really need to be easy so as not to create that overwhelm for me. So my members inside of the Content Effect get my spreadsheet version of the content calendar each year. They also get the spreadsheets in terms of the reimagination process and the tracking and analysis as well. But help me out here. If you're a Notion or a ClickUp user or expert, hit me up. Let me know which one I should choose to amalgamate all of this information together with my project management as well. Now, the second tool that I use is Kajabi. Now, I use Kajabi for my emails as well as landing pages, checkouts, course creation, coaching, membership content. I use it for a whole range of things, but I am such a huge fan of Kajabi, as it has really simplified my life, released my mental load, and really made creating really easy for me. I love to create. I absolutely love it. So when I get an idea, I can have it created and up and running within a day. So whether that's an event, a new course, a new lead magnet, I love how I can personalize my email automations based on people's participation in bundles or whichever lead magnet they've downloaded or how they first enter my world is quite unbelievable. So yes, it is a big expense, but for me, the increase in efficiency, the decrease in cost of using other multiple systems is a huge win and well worth the investment, I think. And if you've been thinking about what Kajabi could do for you, they've recently introduced a new Kickstarter package, which I think is around the $55 per month, which is about 80 Australian at the moment, which I think is well worth the investment if you have one product and you want to go all in with it. If you want to look inside of Kajabi, hit me up. I'd be happy to show you around. Now, the third tool I use to keep my business on track is Asana. So, whilst the free version of Asana has served me so well over the past 8 years and has really kept me on track with tasks and workflows and allowed me to interact easily and quickly with my team, I know that it's time to move on and combine this project management feature with the content creation side of things as well. But I really do recommend some kind of project management tool to use as a depository for your content ideas, to keep on top of your processes, task management, particularly like I said with team members, our follow-up reminders, ad hoc things that you need to remember to do. I cannot rely on my memory to run my business. That would be an absolute disaster if I did that. So a tool like this really helps me stay on top of everything that's important. Okay, so the next tool I use is no surprise here, Canva. I think that most small business owners use this, but this is really the bee's knees of simple graphic creation. Even if you're just starting out, using the free version of Canva will really help you create something that's visually appealing for your business without the investment of time or money that's needed to use other creative tools like Adobe. Now, I have the paid version of it simply so I can share graphics with team members. I also love how I can upload all of my brand elements as well, which saves me a whole bunch of time and energy. So Canva is definitely a tool that I use most days in my business. So the next tool that I use for content scheduling is, for me, the native platform scheduling is where it's at. So this means Meta for Instagram and Facebook for me, and LinkedIn for LinkedIn. I don't know whether it's just a coincidence or not, but any third-party schedulers that I've used for clients in the past have always resulted in a lower reach. So I tend to stay away from them. But once again, if super simplicity is what you're after, then a third-party scheduler may be exactly what you need. I have to say though that Meta in particular are adding new features and new ways to make it really easy to create and schedule content as well. So if you're looking for something that's free, then I would definitely recommend the native platform for scheduling your content. Okay, let's move on to what I use for my podcast. And I cannot live without Descript. So I use this for editing as well as for other parts of the reimagination process, and particularly the AI side of things. I just love Descript so much. It helps me edit my podcasts. I create audiogram snippets. I edit videos such as trainings and client mentoring sessions into snippets to share with permission, of course. But Descript also has a built-in AI feature that I use to create my show notes and to start the creation process for social media posts for each episode as well. So whilst I still edit these things significantly, and I mean significantly, it's so good to have something to start with and not just stare at a blank screen for ages or just feel really uninspired. This just gets those creative juices going. And once again, if you'd like a demo of how I use this, let me know. I'm pretty sure that I have a recorded video about it and I'd be more than happy to share it with you. So just contact me on Instagram, send me a DM and I'll send it over to you. And then the last thing that I use is the free version of ChatGPT and Gemini. So I use AI for content ideation and building a content strategy out of if I'm feeling stuck or I just want to start creating not from a blank screen, I'll always ask ChatGPT or Gemini for some help. So like Descript, I'll always do significant editing in line with my thought leadership, but it really does take that pressure off by having something that you can work with. So there you have it. They are the 7 tools that I use in my business to streamline my content creation and free up more time for bigger picture thinking and projects that I really want to achieve in my business. It's how I'm managing so many brand awareness projects this quarter, such as the bundles, the summits, the trainings, and the sponsorship. and it's how I make sure I maintain consistency and visibility as well. If you'd like to check out any of these projects or tools that I've mentioned today, I've added all of the links in the show notes, and there's quite a few of them, or just simply send me a DM and I'd be happy to chat with you further. Talk soon.
Thanks so much for listening. That's it for another week. To get more powerful content in your life, make sure you're following along on socials. My handle is @meldbusiness. And just in case you're wondering, the groovy music for this podcast was created by Just Here on SoundCloud. I'd also be super grateful if you took a moment to rate and review this podcast so more amazing women like you can experience the power of content. And if you're like, hell Mel, stop talking, I'm ready to work with you now, here's how we can work some powerful content magic together. Firstly, come and join the Content Effect, my membership inspiring women with service-based businesses to ditch the content chaos and start creating stand-out content that gets you noticed and makes sales. You can join us by using the link in the show notes or just Google the Content Effect. The second way we can work together is via my one-on-one packages. We can create a sustainable content strategy or start to build out your client journey. It's up to you. Pop on over to meldbusinessservices.com.au/services to find out more. Until next time, have a beautiful week and embrace the power of your content. Are you confused and overwhelmed by all the tools you could use for your content creation? There are so many to choose from that it is really difficult to know exactly which ones to use. Well, today I'm giving you the lowdown on the tools that I use in my own business and why I love them. And whilst I don't advocate for using a tool just because someone else is, I know that I've definitely benefited from avoiding decision drama by using recommendations from people that I respect. So hopefully this will be helpful for you. I'll explore why it's important to use tools to simplify your workflow, foster creativity, and support collaboration as your business grows. Continue listening to this episode to discover how my favorite tools can transform your business processes, make content creation enjoyable and rewarding rather than a chore. Are you confused and overwhelmed by all the tools you could use for your content creation? There are so many to choose from that it is really difficult to know exactly which ones to use. Well, today I'm giving you the lowdown on the tools that I use in my own business and why I love them. And whilst I don't advocate for using a tool just because someone else is, I know that I've definitely benefited from avoiding decision drama by using recommendations from people that I respect. So hopefully this will be helpful for you. I'll explore why it's important to use tools to simplify your workflow, foster creativity, and support collaboration as your business grows. Continue listening to this episode to discover how my favorite tools can transform your business processes, make content creation enjoyable and rewarding rather than a chore.